Crawley Town announced that 10 key players of the first-team squad have signed contract extensions to ensure they remain at the Broadfield Stadium for next season, with club legend Glenn Morris and experienced veteran Tony Craig signing 2-year contracts. After 2 wins out of 2 for Crawley Town since WAGMI took over the club, the fans have a lot of questions about the club's new owners. Club director, Preston Johnson, sat down to answer some of the fans' questions.
Why Crawley? Out of all the clubs that you could have possibly got, why have you chosen this club?
Sure. So, we chose Crawley Town because we believe the club has a ton of untapped potential that just hasn't been realized yet using the conventional ownership model. And we think we can take it to the next level. It's important, though, for us that Crawley Town is a community club, and we're committed to that. We want to keep it a community club. I know we've had plenty of questions about the details. Eben and I were the new co-directors for Crawley Town FC, right? But we represent the WAGMI United ownership group. And one thing that we've seen so frequently in sport as a whole is a lack of accountability from owners. James Dolan's the owner for the Knicks. He's been the owner running the franchise into mediocrity for 30 years running. But he's a rich owner. He gets to be the owner of the Knicks if he wants to. There's no accountability. It's the scapegoat, ends up being the head coach or the manager, the general manager. They throw everyone else under the bus. So what's interesting is, so then you have like acquisitions like this, which you guys see in the EFL, and everyone's allowed to say, hey, we're going to get promoted in a few years, or we're going to reach championship in 5 years. There's no downside or accountability to that. And that's kind of BS to us. So if we're going to say, hey, we want to be promoted in 2 years, we think that, it's important that we're accountable to you guys, to the supporters. And so that is the case. And so now alluding to, I guess, the specifics of your question. Yeah, if we're not promoted to League One after our second season, then we think it should be up to the community and the supporters, whether or not we stay in as our role as directors. We're bringing a professional football club, Crawley Town FC, to people who already love NFTs, to NFT fans. And they build these passionate digital communities. We have a real professional football club now that we can build and have a rallying NFT digital audience that's just going to give us, we hope and expect, an outsized advantage relative to, the pre-existing revenue stream. So if we were able to capture that, and we get this passionate digital community on board, they're going to be able to build and help this grow. And so that's the key. That I think the difference between some of those bigger, the Yems Gems are going to be great. So looking forward to hearing more of those. I think the thing that stood out the most about John to us is the fact that he's consistently outperformed expectations relative to the club's wage bill, with one of the lower wage bills in the league. Crawley Town's finishing middle of the table. And so that ultimately means one of